Hi, chat. And welcome.
Hold on.
Hi, Goobers.
Oh.
He's currently having technical difficulties. He can only hear us from his right side of the ear. But yeah, hi. How was everyone's week?
Okay,
I fixed it. I fixed it. It's working.
I thought you said I missed it. It's like, you missed your week? What?
Imagine.
Damn.
I mean,
wish.
if you sleep through it, then yeah, you missed it.
I mean, I feel like I did, given, like, Friday. I'm like, wait a minute, it's Friday? Which is especially impressive that I thought Friday was Thursday, despite the fact Thursday's the day I have to bring out the garbage cans, and I brought out the garbage cans.
Garbage day.
So I get to start late and I leave late. Monday I get in at work early and I leave early. But god damn, is it so... Damn. It really do be early.
Doobie.
Doobie doobie dooba doobie doobie dooba.
Starting work at 7:30 is a crime.
I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, technically Friday is garbage day, but we're like the second neighborhood that gets collected, so
Ooh.
so we just take everything out Thursday evening before we go to bed.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Doopy doopy dooba doopy doopy dooba.
Oh, hold on.
The only DEI the government likes, Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated.
Hold on.
Oh no, they redeemed the worm already?
Yeah.
I
My
can't see
God.
the screen, so I'm
Now
good.
I have to revert it, but I can't because of the timer.
Yep.
Was it Miles again?
Yes. Of course he
He
wanted
may
to
be
be
my
a...
neighbor.
Of course he
But if I
wanted to be
get
a
my
fucking worm.
Joke's on you, I can't see the screen!
Good!
I swear to God.
Worm.
Worm. I am funky worm. Worm it!
Funky worm.
Twist it! Pull it! Ah!
Grab his neck and twist it.
Jimmy, I'm gonna break into your house. I'm gonna break into your house
Why
and
mine?
in your room. Because it's funnier. Because bully the streamer, obviously. You know how this works.
Yeah, that's why the mod icon is a sword, so we can stab the streamer. Julius Caesar moment.
I'm gonna break into your room.
Damn, why don't I get
I'm
one
gonna set it up. Every time you sit on your bed, it's gonna be a bop it instruction. Every time you sit, it's gonna be a different bop it instruction.
Now that's a threat.
I'm confusion. I'm gonna explain.
I'm putting Natalie out of context quotes. Every time you sit on your bed, it's gonna be a bop it instruction. That is rude.
Yep, quotes.
Oh, we have a coach chat in my server.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's
I'm
full
with
of-
Discord
it's
there
full of
then, I
wonders.
guess.
Yeah, it's full of wonders like, this tastes like ass. The same casual blasphemy orangutans show towards God.
Oh, yeah,
It will operate for years with staggering levels of abuse and neglect, only known to those of us who work in critical national infrastructure.
Barbie eats ass.
Wish.com Wikipedia.
What?
Hold on. Can I give you context for why I said this tastes like ass?
Sure.
So when I arrived to San Jose with my friend, Ducky, she and her mom picked me up and we all went to Taco Bell. And we ordered and they gave us our drinks and I took a sip of my drink because I was very thirsty after the flight. And it was a soda that didn't have the syrup in it.
You.
Oh. This is just
So I'm
soda
like,
water?
yeah. So I'm like, excuse me, ma'am. I'm sorry. Do you think I can get a new drink? You're running out of syrup and this tastes like ass.
I
So
mean,
it's not that it has no syrup, it's that it has like less syrup than it's supposed to.
Uh-huh.
Damn.
I
Yeah,
just
that does make
told the Taco
yeah, when
Bell
it does
employee,
that, it does
"This
taste
tastes
like
like ass."
It does taste like ass when it runs out of syrup.
I know, but I straight up just told her that. She was like, I'm so sorry. Let me take that for you.
yeah, at least you were honest.
It is accurate though. I've had sodas from like the soda fountains when they're running out of the syrup, and it does taste like ass.
Proper critic.
I don't know if it tastes like actual ass. That's not my thing.
I've never eaten ass before. But this tastes awful. And I imagine ass tastes awful.
That is
I imagine ass
that is
tastes like
dependent
shit.
on the beholder. No, Miles, it only works on this. The worm redeem only works on this stream because this is the only stream where I can become a worm and change back.
I've provided both options.
Yep. Thank you, Mina, for your noble
Yeah.
sacrifice.
I still have to finish that fucking VTube model, but I'm having issues with the hand.
It's okay, don't worry about it. I meant UI Wormhole. Oh no, that's just a funny sound redeem.
Anyway,
Anyway.
yeah, week was good. I realized because Steam is fucking based. I was looking at the Steam store page for Civ 5 because like I know there's like a DLC I don't have. I wonder how much it costs. Like damn, $30. I don't think we're gonna wait a minute. Steam's saying I can get the buy literally everything bundle, and because the version I have has almost everything, I can get that one DLC I want and 2 map packs for $8. Damn.
You know that
Guess I'm getting a
happened.
new DLC and some map packs.
You know what happened? You know that reminds me when I bought the Crew Motorfest on Steam. It was on sale, but if I bought it in a bundle with the Crew 2, I was like it was cheaper because the Crew 2 was only $1.
Damn. You know what's the thing that just completely sent me though? I was looking at like some of the stuff that like it adds, and I was looking through like the new civs, and like, holy shit, the Zulu are overpowered.
I see.
The Zulu in Civ 5 added in their last DLC get 50% less upkeep on their military units, and they gain 25% more XP.
Damn.
And they have a unique military unit. They have a unique pikeman who, before they attack, does a ranged attack and then attacks.
Damn.
And they've got like semi-unique like special upgrades for some of their units. It's like, huh?
Zulu
They're
Empire.
so just busted for domination victory. So I played a domination game with them and still managed to win a diplomatic victory somehow.
Classic
And
civilization.
you still got the diplomatic W.
Yeah.
I won a diplomatic victory exactly 2 turns before I got the last capital I needed. Because I needed to sail my navy for 13 turns all the way across the map to go invade Japan.
The mind is so funny that it was Japan at the end.
I'll never forgive the Japanese.
Then again, the reason I won the diplomatic victory is I just finished beating the shit out of Greece, who had been like the only other like actually like successful civilization in this game for some reason, and they had like basically all the diplomacy cards, and then I just like walked in there. It's like, damn, it's really hard for you to have diplomatic clout when you're dead.
I mean, yeah. I guess that makes sense.
Mhm.
This is...
Good diplomacy was just that good.
Yeah, it's like, I think my units might be a bit busted. I took 3 cities in 2 turns.
Damn. My dad keeps playing Civ 2.
Civ 2 is good.
He actually got like a DVD too. But not even a DVD. What am I talking about? A CD.
My mother mostly plays Alpha Centauri, which is basically Civ 2. but in
Isn't
space.
Alpha Centauri the sequel, not so sequel of Civ 2?
It's technically a spiritual sequel because when it was made by the same team, but it was not published by the same people, so it wasn't allowed to use the Civ license.
Yeah.
And then it got a quote-unquote spiritual successor in Civ 5 in the Civilization Beyond Our Earth, which is built on Civ 5, but that sucked ass. So
Damn.
it was really bad. It was really bad. They had one DLC called Rising Tides, and the tides don't even rise.
That's kind of cringe.
Which I'd like to point out is a feature of the base game of Alpha Centauri.
Damn.
It's a base game feature that you can melt the polar ice caps to increase the sea level.
That's
Hello.
funny. That wasn't a sneeze. That was a sound.
Yeah, this little isometric graphic game. Yeah. What do you got? We got the ability to raise and lower the land. You can build cities on the water. You can we got the missiles. We got one that is just a nuke. We got one that just is a normal missile. We got one that just raises the land wherever you hit Lamau.
Ground on the moment.
Yeah, yes, I'm going to terraform via ballistic missile. Hee hee.
Oh.
It is a good game. It is an incredibly complicated game with a very dated UI, but what you gonna do? It's from the days when games were designed to be fun.
Yeah. Wait, is this a... Oh.
There are no games.
PS2 has no games.
It's PS3! What do you mean the PS2 has no games? That's the only
You
don't know.
PlayStation
that had the most
console.
I didn't
games.
play PlayStation.
Okay, PlayStation 2 is like the one with the most games.
My God, my brother in Christ. The PS2 is the most sold console in the world. It's an overpriced DVD
I
player.
thought it was the Wii.
No.
The PS2
That's
was
not
peak.
even... The Wii is not even Nintendo's most selling console. Do you want to know which one it is?
Isn't it the
DS.
Switch?
Pretty sure it's
What?
the DS.
Switch.
I
Yeah,
don't know
that
if the
could
Switch, I don't know
actually
if the Switch
oh.
has... What's it called? It has, Fucking hell,
What are you talking about?
Drawn a blank.
Most sold Nintendo consoles.
Yeah, it's still the DS apparently.
It's either
Wikipedia.
the Switch or the DS, but I know for a fact for a while it was the DS.
Alright. I've got the Wikipedia article for list of best-selling gaming consoles. Number 1, PlayStation 2, greater than 160 million copies. Number 2, Nintendo DS, 154 million copies. Nintendo Switch, 152 million copies. Game Boy and Game Boy Color, which are combined into one entry, 118 million copies. PlayStation 4, 117 million copies. PlayStation Original, 102 million copies. Wii, 101 million copies. PlayStation 3, 87 million. Xbox 360, 84 million. Game Boy Advance, 81 million. PlayStation Portable, 80 million. PlayStation 5, 77 million. Nintendo 3DS, 75 million. The NES, 61 million. Where's another funny one? The Sega Mega Drive, 30 million. Immediately below the Nintendo 64 at 32 million. The Atari 2600 at 30 million. Nintendo GameCube, 21 million. The Oculus Quest 2, 20 million.
Damn. Dude, I don't really count VR machines as consoles.
Thing is, this one was unique because it actually you didn't need a PC.
This is where we're getting into stuff where I've never heard of what the hell this is.
All right, shoot.
Why is there a separate Brazilian variant entry for the Sega Mega
Look,
Drive?
because
okay.
it's Brazilian.
Okay, the reason why it's that in Brazil the Sega Mega Drive was sold for a lot longer than on other countries. Like the Brazilians really liked Sega consoles. Like
Damn.
really liked them.
The Sega Game Gear is on this list. The Sega Saturn, the Sega Dreamcast.
Damn.
The Dendy, I don't know what the fuck that is. This is Famiclone.
Where's the Philips CDI?
It's a clone of the NES, okay. Which outsold the Super NES Classic Edition.
That's funny.
Crazy.
The
But
NES
that's
Classic Edition.
There's
Bandai,
that,
the
by
Wonder
the way.
Swan and the Wonder Swan Color.
Yo, holy shit, the Wonder Swans.
Nintendo, the Color TV game.
Oh, that's the original Nintendo console, by the way. That one's like Gen
Sold
2.
3 million copies.
That's like Gen 2 material for Nintendo consoles. Well, Gen 2 in general. Gen 1 for Nintendo.
Anyway. Now that tangent's been dealt with.
Sorry.
Who still needs to talk about their week?
I tend to be very defensive about these kinds of things because I've actually studied these. I did a thesis for video consoles.
You did a thesis for this? What?
Yeah. Okay.
There, when I was in French class, I did a presentation on video game companies.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Damn.
do you guys want me to explain the story, or do you want me to just be sure about it?
Go for it.
Go ahead. You did a thesis on this, my guy.
Okay. So back in
Also, this is your channel.
what?
Also, this is your channel. Talk about whatever you want.
True.
This is supposed to be your show.
It ends up being more yours, let's be honest, but it's
Yeah.
potato. I mean, we are the creators, you and I. We're in so different, man. Anyway, nope. Hooverine, what? Nope. Thank
Go
you,
away
Darius,
with
for the
the
worm. Hold on, let me change back into Fox.
We're ending worm mode.
No more worm. Now I am very small. Hold on, let me become big again.
And you may become big.
There we go. Alright, so, okay, so, before I get out the rails, 10th grade. In 10th grade, they gave us, like, okay, you need to do, like, a thesis-style presentation of whatever you want. You have
You need
to
to move
present
back as
a... What?
You need to move Mina back as well.
Oh, true.
Hi.
You need to do a thesis-style presentation of whatever thing you want to explain. So what you had to do is during summer between 9th and 10th grade, you would have to work on a like theoretical, like a paper, like a Word document of like everything about what you wanted to talk about. And I chose video consoles, just a general term of video consoles. I was going to explain what are video consoles, the story for the video consoles, talking about music in video consoles, and they also wanted me to do like a interview, like a fucking... Actually, let me see if I can find it. Where's Fritzy? Fritzy. I can probably find it. It uses AI. Fucking cringe.
Cringe.
It didn't use AI, but...
They're putting AI in everything.
True. Where's
They're putting
Let me
AI
get
in
the
the water
fuck out
to
of my
make the
computer.
freaking frogs gay.
Oh my god, they make the freaking
They're
frogs
putting
gay.
code in the search engine that makes the frogs gay.
Oh, that's such a funny one. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. If I can still pull out the presentation on video consoles. Which, fun fact, I used this presentation. Wait, no, this isn't the correct account. No,
Speaking
no.
of frogs, I was watching a body cam video the other day because I really like me some body cam footage.
Uh-huh.
One of the
It was
arresting
the lightweight
officers was
video.
just What?
With or without the Live Leak logo?
Without the live leak logo.
Damn.
No live leak. But the reason I bring it up is just because we were talking about frogs a second ago. One of the officers just straight up sounded like Kermit the Frog. Can you imagine Kermit the Frog reading your Miranda rights?
Like, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you... I can't do it.
Hello, Kermit the Frog here. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. Put your hands behind your back, sir. Or madam, because it was a lady. Put your hands behind your back, madam. You are under arrest for death threats. It was so good.
Hold on, I wish I could find this. I swear to God, if I cannot find this presentation, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
That would make me pissed. I think... You know what would probably be worse than Kermit the Frog, though?
What?
Fozzie Bear.
Waka waka.
I have to...
Either that or like Shaggy from the original Scooby-Doo. Like, Scoob, you have the right to remain silent.
But also,
Like
know you,
Scoob,
Ryan.
you got the right to
Miles.
remain silent.
I don't care.
Like, Scoob, I'm the man behind the slaughter. Like, Scoob,
true.
I'm gonna need you to step out of the vehicle.
Like Zoinks, man. Step
Like
out of the
Zoinks.
vehicle.
Like, Zoinks, man, stop resisting.
Chat.
Horrendous.
Okay, everyone, hold to your socks. I found it.
Yeah.
Redeem.
So, this is the presentation that I did. At least this is how it started.
Lego.
This is the index. What's a video console?
This is
The
fancy.
precursors to the video
That
console.
is fancy.
Okay, so I'm going to move myself so it's a little easier to see what it says. I'm gonna move myself over here.
That is some fancy PowerPoint nonsense.
Yeah,
right
that was
there.
Prezi. That's what we used to do. So okay, TLDR. What I used for this. I had what is a video console, the precursors, which I used ping ball, the pong, and the arcades. Then I put the like desktop consoles when it came to this. Mind you, this is I'm pretty sure when the PS4 came out. Then
Which
I
year
used
did you do this?
this was 2016, 2017, pretty sure.
Yeah.
So it was a while ago.
So
I talked about portable consoles
Ancient
then.
history.
Then I talked about a few like important console manufacturers: Nintendo, Sega, Microsoft, Sony, and Atari. I talked about indie games. I talked about false video consoles, which I resumed to tablets and smartphones, and other things.
Damn. Based.
And I had
Thanks, Jimmy.
By the way, to that presentation, I brought a Wii remote. I brought a bunch of DSs. I brought a bunch of things to explain with, and I had a Wii remote nearly the entire thing to point at things with the Wii remote.
A
That's
Wiimote.
so good.
That's
Did you have like the shitty like plastic Wiimote lightsaber attachment?
No, but I could have grabbed fucking
Damn.
Caliburn. I have a sword attachment to a Wii remote though.
Damn.
I still do.
Yeah, that was like a random thing we had for someone. It was like a Wiimote lightsaber thing for playing Lego Star Wars, and it was just a bunch of plastic. You put the Wiimote in so you could swing it around more.
Hi, X-Men.
Exactly the same as you could swing it around normally, but it was funny.
Yeah.
That feels like it'd be a good pointing stick.
Okay, so I explained when it came this, it's like why, for what, and how I did an introduction. I did a fucking video explaining what is a video console. You all want to see it? Might get copyright strike because I'm pretty sure the video itself is fucking disturbing with lasers music on, so I'll just mute it.
Okay, then maybe not.
Hold on, I can probably mute it. I can mute it. We're Gucci. We're Gucci. I can just mute it. Oh god. It's in Spanish. Duh. But yeah, for
¿Tú hablas español? ¿Tú hablas inglés?
this is for 10th grade. Oh come on, don't fucking lag on me now. Oh god.
Oh no, the stream. The stream.
Stream,
The
please.
stream's back.
Stream, please.
The stream's back.
I'm gonna draw the thing go now, Paul. My controller.
What?
It's in freaking Choco Bell language. God damn, how dare you?
What?
The wrong version of Spanish.
But a question, yes, X-Man? Do I draw him as a lady or not? The spin nut? Yes.
Oh god.
No.
There is no, don't worry.
Oh.
God.
Is Jimmy commissioning art in his own Twitch chat?
Oh my
Well, it's not a
God.
commission, it's a request. For a funny thing, for a funny bit, for a video.
Okay, if it's for a
Following
video,
my
that's not too
entire
bad.
life.
That's not what I thought you were doing.
Meep, I'm broke. But yeah, this is...
By Team Fortress 2 says the funny word that starts with P.
Otis.
Not that one.
Oh, you
One he
mean
actually
the
says,
soldier?
Meet the spy. The one he actually says, meet the spy.
By the way, because I repeated grades, I technically repeated 10th grade. I got to do this one twice, basically. I should have chosen a different one, but because I never actually got to present this, I got more time to work on this one.
Why'd you have to repeat it?
Because I'm really fucking stupid. That's why I had to repeat years.
Damn.
But yeah, at this time, it was like the PS2.
Oh my god, Miles is just roasting you in Twitch chat. That's why
Yeah.
he doesn't have a picture of himself with Putra. He's just too broke. Damn.
Yeah, he's roasting him. Absolutely.
But yeah, I just went, okay, what could be like predecessors like console wise for kids? Like, okay, pinballs is a good one. Okay, what comes after the pinballs? Pong. You know, the first video game per se that is like somewhat successful.
Somewhat successful is an understatement of how much success Pong had.
Yes.
Like the guy who made Pong set up the first machine like in his friend's bar, and like the next day gets a call that it's broken, runs over to see what the issue is, and the problem is the coin collecting bin is full and backed up the chute.
Then I went like, okay, what comes after Pong? Arcades.
DK. Donkey Kong.
Okay.
Cool.
And I put like, okay, something like a little bit of trivia. There's like 7 general types of arcade games. Sports, simulators, racers, action, fighters, platforms, and shooters. Which is like, you know, the more common genre of video games. RPGs are, I guess, now are also a really common thing.
RTS.
As you can see, this one's in English. I used this presentation for an English presentation in 11th grade and I got a 10 out of this. But I also spent a
Damn.
hell of a lot of time with this. But yeah, it's like, okay, 2-bit, 4-bit. By the way, this is by the second generation. Has anyone ever heard of the video game market crash of like the 80s?
Yes.
Oh.
This is the generation that where it happened. Basically, too many console companies trying to sell video game consoles, market crashes. A lot of the companies just close down or just don't get anything. This is the first Nintendo console, the TV Game 6, a Color 6. Then it's Gen 3, which is 8-bit. Gen 4, 16. And then we move on to like the disc. So I call this the cartridge era, and this is the disc era, but there's still a couple of consoles that use cartridges in these generations. But yeah, as you can see, the last generation is Wii U, PS4, Xbox One.
Damn.
Oh my god.
So yeah, it's like 3264, then it's just 128 onwards, like 3D stuff.
The modern era.
And then the Gens 1, 2, 3. Which is like, yeah, Gens 1 and 2, yeah, there's other companies. Gen 3, hold on. Gen 3, just Nintendo. It's literally just Nintendo. Because Sega made no more consoles, Atari made no more consoles, Sony didn't make the PSP yet, and Microsoft has made no portables. And it's like, Gen 4, the DS and PSP, Gen 5, the 3DS and the Vita. And it's like, Nintendo, Sega, Sony, Microsoft, Atari. I'm pretty sure Sega is one of the few that I don't have right. Because wherever I looked, it said that it was found in Hawaii. Show the Hanafuda cards.
According to Google, it says June 3rd, 1960 in Tokyo.
Yeah, see, that's... I feel like Sega itself, like Sega's the only company that I had wrong here. Indie games.
Yeah.
I say indie games and TF2's fucking there. And Minecraft too.
Wait, you put TF2 in indie game? What?
I think I had this completely wrong. I wanted to speak about PC games, but I just had it completely off. Also, of course I fucking did this.
Sorry.
Fucking 5 minutes of this, bro.
Minecraft is there.
This is just
Let's go Minecraft.
different things. And then it's just like different questions that I had on our questionnaire, but 90% of the people in my class just didn't play consoles. And that's pretty much it. Oh, I did not want to hide myself. I wanted to hide this. Where is it?
Another thing we'll top though, for one of the clubs I was in,
Here
I
it is.
did a presentation for them, and I structured the presentation for like the first like third of the presentation. I was talking about background stuff and not actually like telling people what the point of the presentation was, like as part of the bit, because it was
Funny?
I was giving a presentation on the Enigma machine, and so that's part of the bit. But then, literally, as I'm being introduced by the club leader, tells everyone exactly what it's about. It's like, damn. I wanted people to try and guess what it was.
Damn.
Ah, well.
And he just says it.
But yeah, it's like, I got to break out the, oh yeah, it's so incredibly unbreakable, no one can ever break it. Anyway, Poland broke the Enigma code before the war even started. Lamau.
No, Mao.
Oh,
Oh,
Kill issue.
very much.
Because the issue was less actually like breaking Enigma, more doing it quickly.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really matter if, yeah, you can read it. Yeah, it took you a month to decode one message.
A message that is
You
probably not important anymore.
It's honestly one of my favorite bits though is that one of the things that contributed to them breaking the Enigma code is they signed off every single message with the same 2 words. That both started with H and were very much World War II Germany coded, and I don't think I'm allowed to say on Twitch.
Hmm.
One of them sounds like the weather event where ice falls from the sky,
true.
and the other one is the name of the leader of Germany during that period. And because literally every message ended with that, it allowed them to very easily reverse engineer what
Jimmy is
the,
levitating.
what the encryption was.
Oh my god.
Jimmy,
Ryan.
you're levitating.
Yes, I was levitating. I put myself back. Also, Ryan, pregunta looks like one of the pregnant misspellings from that meme. Damn. It's Spanish, motherfucker. How dare you.
Alright, I'll levitate Jimmy back over to his chair. No more psychic from me.
Oh my god, man.
Oh. Ooh. What the hell happened with my arm?
I don't know.
Anyway, tangent over. What were we talking about?
We were
weeks.
still going through people's weeks.
True.
Yes. Mine was pretty uneventful.
That's it. Okay, there he is.
Yeah, we didn't do much.
Yeah.
It's what a week.
It's one of the weeks of all time. Got
It
it.
is a week. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Idea box.
Yes.
Me know. The solved history behind the infamous Cooper family falling body photograph.
Yes. So,
Oh.
are you goobers aware of the Cooper family photo?
No.
No.
Yeah, I am.
Damn.
Oh.
I am. They solved it.
So, within the paranormal community, it has been, it is a infamous photo. I'm downloading it right now. It has been the subject of many a creepypasta.
Uh-huh.
I'll put it in the images chat for you. Here you go. This is an artist recreation of it, but this is the photo.
Ah.
Yeah.
No clue.
It's a legend.
Yeah, I could see why that would be creepy
Yeah.
pasta worthy.
Me too.
Okay, here's the original photo. Sorry, I didn't realize the first one was a painting. Anyway, this is called the Cooper family falling body photo.
Oh, I
And
see the
for
falling
many-
body.
It has been around on the internet.
Hold on.
Hot minute.
But before you give an explanation for what it is, I'm gonna assume it has something to do with all the candles.
Actually, yeah, good point. Do you guys want to take a guess as to how this photo was created?
I mean, yeah, that looks
I
like...
don't.
It feels like it would be the candles. I agree with Meep there. It also looks like someone's just fucking trying to backflip and failing miserably. Just hitting the table.
All right. Anyone else?
There he is. Or...
Oh, you
Come on,
know-
European, speak. You have mouths.
I spoke!
No,
I've
especially
already said that I would rather not guess.
the other thing that would especially
I'd rather not.
this was somehow like a thermal image.
Nope.
No,
This
it
is a
wouldn't be.
real family photo.
It could also be someone just spilled something on it.
That would be funny. Very anticlimactic, but funny.
They were levitated by some psychic type. That's my theory.
Damn.
Damn.
Meep caused this. Damn.
How dare you, Meep.
But
Meep was the ancient aliens all along.
All right, you can hear me now?
Yeah, oh wow,
Yes.
much better.
There we go. Yeah, I switched off of my phone. I finally got my lazy ass out of bed.
Understandable, have a nice day.
So, I will tell you, Photoshop was not involved in the creation of this photo.
I don't think anyone was thinking about Photoshop.
Come on, Bolt. There he is. Give one guess.
I said I don't want to guess.
Why not?
Why
I
not?
mean, I mean a serious
Stop
guess.
Bolt, stop being so fucking boring.
What? It was said if I
Actually,
want
have no
to.
idea.
Sure, I
Maybe
guess. But Bolt, you never
something-
speak.
Maybe the picture was corrupted or something, I guess. That
Hmm.
would be
I'm
my guess.
assuming it's a photo old enough that was taken on actual film.
I'm gonna take a look. Another good look at it, just
It's
to be
on the
sure.
images.
Yes,
It's an
I
image.
Especially if it's
know.
in black and white, I'm assuming this was an actual film photo.
Yes, it is an actual film photo.
Hmm. So the first one was a recreation. The other one was the
Yes.
real one, if I'm
Oh.
not mistaken.
That
Right?
was-
Disregard the first one. It wasn't. Yeah, disregard the first one. I didn't realize that was a painting for a second. So just delete that. Delete. You're only focused on this photo.
Yeah.
Jimmy, can you put that as the photo actually up on the stream?
Sure can. Also, are those two women, or am I flipping?
Yes, those are two women holding two young boys.
Okay.
Hmm.
Alright, chat. Don't get freaked out. There it is.
Ghost warning.
Almost- Yeah.
I was
I'm
going to
almost
say ghost
thinking-
warning, but
Poopy
I'm almost
time.
thinking.
Things about
You
the
want me to
episode.
speak? You speak over me. What do you want?
Sorry, dude.
Yeah,
you speak so
it's
softly.
really-
You have to search yourself.
You have to yell, you
Oh,
have to
they-
scream.
It might just close to my mouth, or almost put put the mic into my mouth. All right then.
just fucking eat
Um,
it. Become the microphone. Kirby up that shit.
Eat the microphone.
Kirby up.
Breathe like the microphone.
Become the microphone.
Viewers
I
with
could
the
almost imagine
microphone.
that it's just a mistake or something. Like, oh,
Like an after
if I
image.
just. Not necessarily that I think it could be that because it's close to the wall. I think that it could also just be again going into the black and white part of it all. Maybe that-
Else.
You know what? I'm just going to believe it's a ghost bump.
Valid. Anyway, those are all good guesses. Also, I'm so sorry, Bolt. Ex Manino in chat says, and the moment he starts talking, an ad starts.
Damn.
My god.
I'm cursed.
It's okay.
See, this
You're
is why I
doing so
don't
good.
speak.
It's immediately
This is
followed
why I
by
don't
it
speak.
by
I
the
speak and then that starts.
It's okay, Bolt. I'm sorry.
And it's
Baby,
full
I'm sorry.
And it's followed up by Miles
Yeah,
saying
Bezos
Lord in the microphone.
Jeff Bezos hates the Dutch.
Jeff Bezos hates Pichus.
That's because they treat their workers humanely.
Yeah.
Exactly.
True.
They're required to actually pay their workers a living wage.
Wait, what? They're
Imagine
actually
that.
insured in case there's
Somehow
an
their base
accident?
taxes aren't excessively more expensive.
Imagine that.
Who would have thunk?
Anyways, so the Cooper family photo is a real family photo, as I've said. However, their last name isn't Cooper. Imagine that.
Who would have thought?
Okay.
Damn.
Their last name is actually Ramsdell. This photo was around on the internet for a long time. Like I've said, it's been a subject of many a creepypasta. And the established story that was going around this internet is that one day a father took a picture of his two young sons, his wife, and his mother in the new house that they had just moved into. And because it was one of those little like Kodak cameras from the 60s, he couldn't really center it. It's a lot like that infamous photo of the astronaut behind the young girl,
Mm-hmm.
where dad just couldn't see past the viewport. And they took a photo of this falling body that was not there.
Ah.
So that is the established story for the Cooper family photo. In reality, this photo is created by an artist by the name. Hold on.
Wait, is it like album cover art?
It is not.
Oh. Because this looks like it'd be like the cover of like an old rock album or something.
It does, but
Back in the period where everyone was like rock and roll Satan.
Pikachu is
But
Satan.
is an artist by the name of Mr. Ramsdell. I'm trying to find his first name and I cannot see it. But the point is, this is an art piece, like a physical art piece.
Mm-hmm.
It is not for music. It is from a photographer. Mr. Ramsdell, who has his master's, his bachelor's, and an associate's in arts and fine arts, is a 2-time recipient of the National Endowment for the Arts Fellowship and a 1-time recipient of the Arts Matters Fellowship. His artwork has been exhibited in 5 countries and 17 United States. U.S. states. He makes his living as an artist messing with photos and prints and books and just taking the ancient and making like more modern commentary. This is one of his earliest works from a set called Yesterday Revisioned.
Mm-hmm.
Richard G. Ramsdell, that's his name. His most famous print is one he edited from the 80s, 1981, called The Cooper Photo.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a picture of himself, his older brother, his mom, and his grandma. And the falling photo, or the falling figure in this photo, is himself
As an adult?
as an adult.
That's funny.
So, like I said, these photos were taken like in the 60s. All of these are printed on physical films, but he didn't. The way he made it wasn't as an after image. I don't know if you guys know what double exposures are.
No clue. Sorry.
I have a
So
vague concept of it. My father would know.
So double exposure is basically when you use a film that already has a photo printed on it and you take another photo on top of that.
Oh. That makes sense.
Yes. Kind of like how they did the stop motion for film in ye olden times.
Yeah.
Like when they used the stop motion monsters in olden films. But that's sort of what he did. Basically, the way he explained it, it's all in you can find it all explained in a YouTube video by YouTuber Jeffiot. Jeffiot. He talks a lot about how people edit certain photos. So if you're a budding editor for photos, maybe give him a look. These are handmade prints that he did in 1981. Basically, what he did is he took the original photo
Mm-hmm.
and he projected it onto the wall upside down.
Huh?
Then he took a photo of him standing in front of this photo as it's being projected on the wall. In his best falling pose.
So he was just fucking around.
Yeah,
So-
no, because this
so-
is part of a series. It's called Yesterday Division. And basically he had a vision when he was in his 20s in college of there's so much terrible shit going on in the world,
Yeah.
and people are just living their lives like they don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
So what if I made something based on that premise? And he took a bunch of photos, much like his family photo. He took a bunch of his family photos and he edited them so that there was like something out of place in the middle of this photo. Like here's a baby photo of him, and he edited like a warplane in the background coming in his direction.
Hold on, Jimmy. Can you, with the photo on stream, can you flip it upside down?
Yeah? Like,
Because if I'm understanding what Mina said correctly, if you flip it upside down, that's the orientation that the picture was actually taken in. Because the falling body is him standing in front of the family photo, which he's put upside down on the wall.
is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah,
just
no,
standing there.
it's
He's just
super obvious that's what it is now, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. He's just flailing his hands, and he has his head moved back a little bit as he took the photo.
That's so funny.
He's just standing there.
And for years,
menacingly.
right? Whenever people on the internet would find this old photo, they would run it through programs to see how it was edited, and it never came back with the results of it was edited like this. This is where the Photoshop program would have put something in. It never showed those results.
Right, because it wasn't an actual like
Because it's
edit. It
not
was
Because
an
it's an
actual
actual
honest
photo.
photograph.
It's a
So,
photo of a photo.
It's a photo of a photo.
It's a photoception.
Yes. Shows the baby photo now. Give me 1 second. I'm sharing screen right now, so you should be able to see
Yes.
some of the photos that I'm looking at. So, for instance, here's the Cooper photo.
Mm-hmm.
This is the artist webpage. It's called Studio Ramsdell. If you're interested in buying a print or taking a look at some of his artwork, we have
Oh god, the skull.
his siblings right here, and on his body is a skull.
Ugh.
We have a hand reaching for his body as he's hanging out in the crib. One of the bullet hole over his face as his mom and his brother stand there.
I still think one of the things like that I've ever seen was the I think there's a ghost in the baby crib, and it's just the baby cam was seeing through the sheets to see the Gerber logo on the kitty mattress.
Yeah, I've seen that one. It's good. Let's see. Falling plane while this family is just taking a photo. I'm not sure what's super out of place here. Oh, it's the guns in the corner.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Yeah, this is the
If it's
baby
in
with the
America,
plane.
That's not out of place. If it's American, that's not out of place. Really.
Yeah, Jimmy, you should be showing it on stream.
Oh.
Jimmy!
They're asking for it in chat, Jimmy. Come on.
Look, I'm not a good streamer, okay? I'm trying.
Try harder, bitch.
Try harder.
Try squared.
Try cubed.
Cubed.
The
Alright.
tri-cubed area.
The streamception.
All right, let me know when you guys are ready.
Yeah, it's there. It's on stream.
I can't see it because if I do, you're gonna see the stream. Okay, cool. So here's the Cooper family photo. You can even see his glasses in this one. Here is his family photo. His siblings and himself with the skull on his face. A hand reaching for him in his crib. Dirty ass shoes. The bullet holes over this family photo. And it covering his face. Falling plane. The guns in the corner of the photos. So all of these photos were taken the exact same way. They were projected onto a wall, and he would just, edit them as is. Plane about to crash into the baby.
Here
A mushroom
comes the
cloud.
airplane.
Yeah, for real. A mushroom cloud behind this couple. And the point of the photos, from what he explained it in the Jeffiat video, is just wartime shit happening and people just living through it like nothing's there, because that's what it felt like while he was growing up with the Cold War going on, all that other stuff.
Aye.
Just finding usual stuff in the unusual.
Yeah, like that rib.
Yeah, the ribs going through his chest. However, nowadays, he's kind of doing some different work. This is his archive. Let me go to objects.
Fetish objects. What?
Yeah. I'm not going to zoom in on them too much because, TOS.
Yo,
But
holy
these
shit.
are just...
It's the Zodiac.
Yeah.
Yo.
He just edits them just ever so slightly.
Interesting.
Elongated. Yeah, art's weird,
Elongated, that's
but it's
rad.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see, prints. Most recent prints. Yeah, this dude being uneven. This guy having a musket, a key, and a chalice. He likes to edit stuff from history specifically. Just, making a statement about now with the before. Why does that
Oh my
look like
God.
house? Me. Man. Oh god, I don't like that. It's front facing.
Oh,
No, it's not
stairs.
nice.
What happened to this dog?
Poor dog. What the dog doing?
Dude, what they
Not
do
having
to
a
this
good time.
dog?
The dog just doesn't want to live anymore.
Dog doing.
Not having a good time, apparently.
Damn.
Well, what the? Big Chungus.
God damn it, Darius.
So yeah, these are his.
Shove off.
That was a big Chungus.
Okay.
Is there anything?
Bye. Hold on, BRB.
Bye.
Hold on. Before I go
But
downstairs,
yeah.
are you going to keep showing these or?
No, I'm gonna turn off my stream.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, that mystery has been going on for the last 20 or so years online. I think the oldest
No one ever
version.
thought to do reverse image search.
No, they did. The man didn't have a website. This photo was
Oh.
never available online, so who knows how it ended up online. So that is the new mystery of it, because Ramsey, or what was his last name? Ramsdell, sorry, never posted online. This was just in his physical collection.
Damn.
I think the only thing that was there was like his private portfolio, where you needed a link to get to it.
Damn.
And I don't know if you saw, if I showed it on the About page, but his portfolio is only available by request.
Interesting.
Yes, so it was not available for public use, but the first instance of this photo is in 2006. And as I said, this photo was created in the 80s.
Fascinating.
Yes. But he's not upset about the way that people have chosen to interpret his artwork. He is one of those artists that separates his art from the artwork, in which I'm glad that I'm getting the credit. But if this is what's left of my legacy, or if this just got popular and people are enjoying it outside of me, that's perfectly fine. And he found out that it was getting popular back in the 2010s. And he's just like, it's not Photoshop. I can tell you that for sure. That's my family. But he was going under the guise of a Cooper. And he ended up writing a book about this family finding out that their photo is popular online as a ghost image. You know, completely knowing that it's his family. But from the perspective
It's
of...
his family photo that he then took a photo of himself on top of.
Yes, but he wrote a book about what it's like finding out that your family is popular on the internet for something completely separate of what they were actually doing. It was really cool. He's a little kooky old man, but he's one of those cool boomers. You know what I mean?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, he's one of those like, yeah, Reagan was actually a piece of shit.
Ah, okay, cool.
Yeah, he's one of those boomers.
It's like how the baby boomers have like there's your cool grandma who likes to knit, and then there's Karen the MAGA fanatic. And there is no in between.
But yeah. There's the people who grew up straight edge, and then there's the people who grew up protesting in the 60s, and you could tell who's who. Alright, and that's my section on the Cooper family photo. It's just a really cool art piece.
The ones who grew up straight edge and the ones who grew up in June.
Very funny.
Very funny. Anyway,
Moving along.
moving on.
Also, I'm gonna be honest.
Hold
I
on.
thought just real quickly, I thought I already talked about the thesis to you guys, not even on like the Roomba, just in general.
No,
No.
I have no recollection of this.
Huh.
To be fair, it has been 2 years. It has been actually. I think this month is going to be 3 years of that we've known each other.
Oh my god,
Damn.
you're so right. It all started
Happy
with a
Pride
silly...
Month!
It all started with a silly raid because I thought your model was cute. And also you were playing
Yeah.
Mystery Dungeon, so, you know, base.
I was playing Mystery Dungeon with Alex. We still haven't finished that game, and it's been 3 years.
Yeah, and I
Damn.
finished 3 save files of Mystery Dungeon at that time.
To be fair, I'm not as chronically online. I have to work, and it's exhausting.
I know, I'm the one that doesn't have a job here, so I'm just trying to be chronically online to get some money. So I can maybe expand my horizons and not need to be chronically online as much.
Valid.
Chat, I'm cooked. It's over for me.
Chat, we're so cooked.
Oh no.
I'm so cooked the shrimp is going to fry me.
A shrimp fried this, Jimmy.
Yep.
He got eaten by an ancient lizard in a sandwich. Or a future lizard in a sandwich.
Not the bio lizard.
Not the
Anyway.
Koraidon.
Not the Toyota Maridon. Or was it the Honda Maridon?
Honda Koraidon Toyota.
Can't tell
Maridon.
anymore, dude.
Damn. Anyway, yes. Next up, Poland. The country that has a serious villain backstory energy going on with their history. Just saying.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
The amount of times they got invaded over the course of like 30 years is impressive.
True.
And then every time they got invaded, all their allies left them out to dry.
True.
There's a reason Poland is like one of the most. Alright, come on. I've got all the armed forces. Come on,
Yeah, the honey
give it a
badger.
try, Russia. Come on, little European
ho-
Texas.
Yeah, the honey badger of fucking Euro.
It's like that. It's like that fucking skit in South Park.
It's. Hold on, I've got the. Hold on, where is it?
Come out!
Yeah, it's that. We've got. I have in one of my quote shows a line from the Polish national anthem. Okay, this is the line translated to English. What the foreign force has taken from us, we shall with saber retrieve.
Based.
These have you've got the quotes that include the a former president of Poland once said, if someone invades our country, they must know that we will defend our homeland, and let me tell you, it's big enough to dig graves of all of the invaders.
Damn!
Poland, you disappeared off the map for a little bit and then came back.
Poland
It-
is just... Damn.
What is Poland?
Based. Based on
Yes.
what? I don't know, but it's
Exactly.
just based.
No, it is actually based.
Look, all I'm saying is like,
Hey, no.
if Warsaw has like 2 buildings that predate the year 1940.
Oof, yikes.
Anyway, Poland had their presidential election. It was won by a Karol Nawrocki. I don't know. I can't pronounce Polish names. Polish
Put
names
that
are
shit in
really hard
Google Translate and press the speaker.
No. They are a historian by trade who won with 50.9% of the vote.
That's pretty close.
He is of the opposition party to the current prime minister. Which sucks because the prime minister is based as shit. Donald Tusk is based as shit, and he has a name I can actually pronounce.
Tusk.
Yes. He is notably an anti-European Union conservative who ran under the slogan Poland first, Poles first, and is the
Did they not watch the United States?
And he was the favored choice of both Donald Trump and Viktor Orban.
Who would have thought?
That said, I'm pretty sure he still is of the opinion Russia fucking cringe.
I
Good.
believe
That
all Polish
Is
people are
fine,
dead.
but that's like the non-brain dead choice.
Yes, but that's more so just how much Poland is just fuck you Russia. That even like the people that like all the Russia simps like want to win still think Russia's fucking cringe.
Yeah, that shit's baked into their blood. It's the Poland is just terrifying when you're gay.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's the
didn't
one.
we have something about Poland and gays a while back?
Poland is institutionally homophobic as shit.
Yeah,
Damn.
they tried, but they're fucking. They will kill you. Not like officially, but unofficially, you'll get beaten to death on the street.
Damn.
Cringe.
Very.
Yeah, that's the one thing with Poland that I can legitimately say cringe. Cringe.
How dare the Moldor be homophobic?
I mean,
Imagine being homophobic in current year.
Couldn't be me.
but yeah, Poland has some base shit from the like they're the people who had the artillery bear in World War II.
The what?
The artillery,
The artillery bear.
Are you not familiar with the artillery bear, Jimmy?
You mean Voltec?
Yeah,
No.
Wojtek the artillery bear. Yeah. So
Wojtek,
this
huh?
was a Polish army unit that was part of the Polish army in exile.
Uh-huh.
Ended up adopting a bear cub, which is named Wojtek. And he was basically like the mascot of the unit. And they'd feed him cigarettes and beer and stuff, as soldiers do. During a battle in Italy, the bear just started picking up and carrying entire crates of artillery shells over to the artillery guns.
That's
Just on his own,
crazy.
just mimicking how all the soldiers were like picking up shells. He just started picking up entire crates of
Hey, but I need some ammo!
because he's a bear.
Yeah, you
He
can
ended
live.
up, I think after the war, ended up living in a zoo in England where all his old army friends would show up and try and smuggle him cigarettes. I'm pretty sure he's like an Easter egg. You can like have him take over Poland in Hoi 4 or something.
Yeah, it is, it is.
Then again, this is Hoi 4 has the somehow he returned achievement for having Senor Hilter in charge of Argentina.
Yes.
It's got a fucking
Oh,
Star
God.
Wars reference for their alt history conspiracy theories.
Hoi 4 is such a fucking goofy game.
Anyway, next up, we go to the United States where something funny happened. The White House press secretary made a statement. So basically, Donald Trump held a fucking bullshit meme coin, Trump coin crypto investor, secret dinner where he fed them like the most freaking American school lunch tier food imaginable for these people who paid him millions of dollars in his meme coin. And yeah. So, and this all secret nonsense where, they bribed their way into having private access to the president. And the White House press secretary got questions about this. And the press secretary's like, no, don't worry. He's doing it on his personal time. Now, the reason that's funny is because if it's on his personal time, that voids his presidential immunity.
Which means...
Which means he could be prosecuted for it.
That's funny.
Which is hilarious. The White House press secretary accidentally, potentially means he's actually on the hook for being corrupt as shit. So, the administration then immediately turned around and was like, no, this is definitely official. No, we're not going to release the guest list, even though this is supposed to be official. No. That's not happening. It's only official in the fact that you can't prosecute him for it, because so long as it's an official act, legally he's above the law of the now. Thank you, U.S. Supreme Court. Very cool. But, yeah. Yeah, because if it's on his personal time, that means it's not an official act, and the Supreme Court says he only has total immunity for official acts.
Come on. If only. If only.
Yes. Next up, we got some news from Japan.
Nippon.
Yes.
Hey,
We got some based Japan doing some actual good news in the realm of science. Japanese scientists have announced they've got at least a prototype of a universal artificial human blood.
What?
Universal artificial human blood.
So they basically making what type blood is it? Blood is it? The universal like transfuser? O minus?
Hold on. I think it's O negative is the universal.
Yeah, O negative. So they're just making artificial O negative blood. Cool.
Hold on. Tokyo Weekender. Here's a good one. Japanese scientists develop artificial blood compatible with all blood types. A critical component of healthcare is blood transfusions play a vital role in saving lives around the globe every day. Maintaining an adequate blood supply, though, is no easy task, particularly in low and middle income countries. The demand for O negative blood, the universal donor, often exceeds supply, and donations have a limited shelf life. Looking to address the issue, a group of Japanese scientists, led by Hiromi Saki at Nara Medical University, developed a new type of artificial blood that can be used in patients of any blood type. The artificial blood is created by extracting hemoglobin, a protein containing iron that facilitates the transport of oxygen in red blood cells, from expired donor blood. Is then encased in a protective shell to create stable, virus-free artificial red blood cells. As these artificial cells have no blood type, there is no need for compatibility testing. So it's not their O negative; it's they have no blood type.
Ah.
Which means they're technically O negative can't be used in certain like really niche, rare blood types. But this is literally no type, so it's truly universal, from my understanding.
Damn.
The synthetic blood can reportedly be stored for up to 2 years at room temperature and 5 years under refrigeration. Significant improvement over donated red blood cells, which can only be stored under refrigeration for a maximum of 42 days.
That's
Small-scale studies began in 2022. 3 groups of 4 healthy male volunteers aged 20 to 50 received a single intravenous injection of hemoglobin vesicles, artificial oxygen carriers that mimic the structure of red blood cells, and increasing amounts up to 100 milliliters. While some participants experienced mild side effects, there was no significant changes in vital signs, including blood pressure, building on that success. They announced that his team was accelerating the process last July. In March, and started administering between 100 and 400 milliliters of the artificial blood cell solution to volunteers. If no side effects were confirmed, the trial will shift to examining the treatment's efficacy and safety. Aims to put the artificial red blood cells into practical use by around 2030.
so like 5 years from now. That's not that long.
Another scientist is working on the development of artificial oxygen carriers using albumin-encased hemoglobin to stabilize blood pressure and treat conditions like hemorrhage and stroke. So far, animal studies have shown promising results. As a result, researchers are now eager to move to human trials. So yeah, because the thing is, like, human blood is, by volume, one of the most expensive liquids on the planet because it is so valuable and so life-saving. And by the sounds of it, this is a process that would basically allow the reprocessing of expired, unused human blood into viable universal blood, which maybe wouldn't be necessarily able to be used for like full use, but would be able to be used as an additive at the very least to stretch blood supplies, which especially in poorer countries would be incredibly valuable.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And there's apparently no scientists working on fully artificial blood as well, but yeah. Next up, we go to the United States, where the acting head of FEMA ended an internal meeting by saying he didn't know the US had hurricane seasons. This is the head of the agency who, like, responds to hurricanes and other natural disasters.
Meep, I have no mouth yet I must scream moment.
Also, by the way, Trump's budget bill, his big beautiful bill, doesn't actually fund FEMA, if I'm understanding correctly.
Of course.
As
Oh,
a
yeah.
reminder, the states most often that get response from FEMA are all red. Just saying.
Oh yeah, don't we have something else to speak about when it comes to that big beautiful bullshit thing?
I'm sure we do.
And a certain white supremacist South African man?
Oh yes, we've got Elon stuff, but we'll get to Elon.
Okay.
In other news, the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, he's in the news again.
Oh boy.
Continuing on the whole his arrest at the ICE facility bullshit. So last week we mentioned his charge got dropped. So now he's suing the acting federal prosecutor for New Jersey for malicious prosecution and false arrest over the whole incident.
Damn.
Reminder, that prosecutor got laid into by the judge for basically jumping the gun on this. Anyway, next up we've got Elon Musk.
Well, that was quick.
So we have a rare Elon non-L, in that, so after Elon has left the government, he has publicly decried the big beautiful bill, which results on Trump then publicly turning on Elon, while the two go into a big giant MAGA civil war, basically. We have the funny thing of the mother of Elon's kids chimed in, to quote Ashley St. Clair, "Hey, at Donald Trump, let me know if you need any breakup advice." Youch. Elon then put forward a Twitter poll on making a new, quote-unquote, centrist political party to actually represent the 80% of the middle, supposedly. Laughing emoji. We got the laughing emoji on that. Because, this is just full-on, the Bull Moose Party. Which, if you're not familiar with that, this is, after Teddy Roosevelt left office, he really didn't like one of his successors, so he made his own party to run against him, and it just ended up splitting the vote and letting the actual other party just absolutely dominate that election.
That's
because
funny.
the U.S. electoral system is basically needs to be a two-party system in order to function.
Okay, why? What makes it so impossible for you guys to have more than two parties?
Well, basically, it's a single round, winner-take-all election. And by the way it's written, you don't need a majority to win. You just need to have the plurality of the votes to win.
That's fucking stupid.
Which means if there's three political parties, it's always more advantageous to consolidate your votes into one candidate.
Yeah.
And splitting the vote is just a big problem with the way the U.S. federal elections is arranged. Which, to be fair to the people who designed the U.S. elections, they were like the first people designing a democratic election process, and they were doing it in what was at the time one of the largest geographical countries on Earth, because the 13 colonies were just, compared to like Europe, huge. And also the fastest means of communication is sticking a guy on a horse and crossing your fingers he doesn't die of like cholera or something before he reaches his destination.
Yeah.
Given those constraints, it's a fairly decent system, but like by modern standards, it is just barely functional. It's horrible. The problem is it heavily favors the two establishment parties, meaning all the politicians who are naturally of those two parties have no incentive to actually change the system.
Yeah. To be fair, they made it with the ideas that parties wouldn't show up.
Yeah, that was fucking stupid. Anyway.
People just like to set themselves in drives.
Anyway, in other news, Elon then claimed Donald Trump is in the Epstein files, and that's why they have yet to be released. To quote
We
Elon
don't
Musk,
know that.
yeah, to quote Elon Musk, quote, "Time to drop the really big bomb."
We knew he was there.
We've known
we don't
this
know-
entire time.
We don't know he's there, but we know he's there.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, we don't know he's there. Under whispers, we know he's there.
It's like officially we don't know, but you know.
You know.
Yeah. Elon later goes back and deletes that post, but you know, apparently the best part though is, while he posted that, the head of the FBI was apparently actively filming a Joe Rogan podcast, and Joe Rogan asked him about that, and this is important because the head of the FBI has the Epstein files on his desk, like being under review for release supposedly. To quote the Kash Patel, acting lead of the FBI, quote, "I'm just staying out of the Trump-Elon thing."
I mean, fair enough.
No, Jimmy. He refused to defend the glorious leader.
Lamau. Let's see how long he lasts.
That's as close to a confirmation that we're gonna get.
That's funny as
Okay.
fuck.
In other news, Steve Bannon, former advisor to Trump, in response to this Elon beast, called for SpaceX to be seized by the government and for Elon Musk to be deported. Damn. You know the MAGA Civil War series when MAGA is calling for the seizure of a corporation.
Oh my god. I love watching assholes burning flames that they made themselves.
Agreed.
Fuck.
Also, I've got this image I'm gonna post in relation to Elon deleting his Epstein callout post.
Do you want me to post it?
Up to you. It's just the science diagrams that look like shit posts. Defeated male leaves.
And I won't.
The best part, though, about all of this is, you know how the government is being sued for all of Doge's actions?
Yes.
You know who's a really valuable witness to all the people suing the Trump administration?
Elon
Musk. Given all his insider knowledge about Doge and its operations.
Well,
Dude, now all of a sudden, really hates the current administration. All of those lawyers, I'm sure, are salivating at the idea.
Yeah,
absolutely.
they are.
It is
going to happen.
Brilliant.
White people are
Brilliant
exhausting.
storytelling.
Rich white people are exhausting.
Yes.
Yeah, they are.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree.
Very.
Roomba?
Roomba?
Man.
Where?
Trump is breaking up with Elon.
I said waba. I don't know where you got booba from.
Damn.
Horny be gone!
Cat shame this man.
Spam the horny be gone emote chat.
Stop always thinking that way, Jimmy.
Don't spam, but everyone post it. Post the horny be gone.
And if you can't, subscribe so you can post it. Give me money. I'm broke.
Can you give me money?
Give me money, give me money, give me money, give me money.
Anyway, next up.
Give me a man after midnight.
Next up, Western
Miles, who
Game
was
Dev
talking to
has been
you?
here. Next up, Western Game Dev has been here. How can you tell? 410 gigabytes.
Oh my god, Darius, when are we talking about this kind of stuff with Emmy the other day about uncompressed files?
I don't know.
No. I like to point out what this is specifically. This is talking about Call of Duty.
Yeah.
If you have a base model 500 gigabyte PlayStation 4, Call of Duty is now too big to update itself on the console, even if it's your only installed game.
Fucking Activision.
Western game dev has been here.
Such a stupidity, honestly. Like, why even? Like, is it probably filled with AI slop or something?
Probably.
Like, I swear to God.
It's the like the Star Trek 500 cigarettes or whatever.
Call of Duty is like that one
Five
franchise that started so
gigabytes.
great, but literally lost its way so hard. It's
Darius,
fucking
don't
sad.
look into your DMs.
Okay, I won't.
Damn it! I was trying to make reverse psychology.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work on me.
Damn.
Anyway,
Don't look at your DMs.
apparently there was a volcano that went off in Italy.
Which one?
Uh,
Yeah, there are multiple.
I'm going to assume the Etna.
Mount
Yeah,
Mount Etna.
Yeah, Etna, okay.
Italy's Mount Etna erupted with a large plume of ash seen rising from the volcano. Images and videos from the island of Sicily showed volcanic material spilling out of the volcano on Monday morning. I'm reading the BBC.
Why?
A number of explosions of increasing intensity were recorded in the early hours of Monday morning. Italy's National Institute of Geography and Volcanology, Etna Observatory. Full scale of the eruption is currently unclear, and disruptions appear to be minimal, with flights departing and arriving at the usual times at the island's airports. Mount Etna is one of the world's most active volcanoes, so eruptions are not uncommon, and its outbursts rarely cause significant damage or injury. Ground movement indicated the latest eruption happened on the southeastern edge of the volcano. This appears to be where a known 200-meter wide vent is. So, yeah. Italy volcano.
And why no?
Anyway, next up. Donald Trump can't fucking read.
We don't do
okay.
that. We
So-
don't knew this bitch was illiterate.
So, a leaked report from the a leaked report from the government indicates the National Security Director wants to turn the president's daily intel briefings into a Fox News-style show because Trump, quote, doesn't read, end quote, and can't pay attention for the duration of the briefing.
Okay, so what you're telling me is that he has the attention span of So what you're telling me is that he has the attention span of a 5-year-old.
No,
Yeah.
worse.
According to this report, he's only managed to sit through 14 intelligence briefings in his first 100 days, compared to Obama's 90 and Biden's 63, and his first term's 55.
Even
also,
Sleepy Joe
like to point
can do more.
of that 55, Trump had the daily intel briefing changed to a one-page outline, which he had someone read for him. Had them read it out to him.
Such a lazy motherfucker.
Non-classified CIA reports indicate they, quote, struggled to brief Trump in his first term to, quote, only limited success. And somehow, that's not the worst of it. Because you know who they want to have develop these video presentations for Trump?
Woo.
The Fox News production team.
Oh no. Oh no.
Let's give top secret information to Fox News!
My
What could
fucking
possibly
God.
go wrong?
No.
Everything is gonna go
Wow.
wrong.
There's so much stupid bullshit happening over there. Why can't people actually think? It's so wrong.
I'm just
President
all
of the
think just
United
about
States is
AI
borderline
slop.
illiterate.
I'm
They
just
think about
sorry.
Bitcoin, the AI slop. Oh, it's exhausting.
I'm
bro,
just
and I'm not
sorry
even
for you
there.
guys.
Yeah, I'm yeah. Double sorry.
Pain,
Pain,
suffering.
despair,
And suffering,
that-
pain.
and
It's
that
somehow
pain.
that's not the worst thing from this week, but we'll get to that.
Oh,
Why are we
God.
still here? Just to suffer.
God damn it!
Anyway, The Office of Personnel Management has issued new requirements for all federal hires. Essay questions requiring applicants to praise Trump and pledge to support his agenda.
Okay, so we're just outright making a fucking dictatorship. Got it. Cool.
I mean, yeah, that was the plan all along.
Anyway, in other news, we have a common Donald Trump L. Crypto Bros
No.
have launched a Trump-branded crypto wallet, which ranking members of the Trump family who aren't... This isn't Donald Trump, this is other members of the Trump family who actually manage the actual business side of things. Come out and say, no, this wasn't us. This is illegitimate. We're getting scammed by these crypto bros who are using the Trump name illegitimately.
Is it really a scam then? It just sounds like it's copyright infringement.
True.
Yo, I just got pinged on Discord. I just got picked to play in a World of Warships tournament. Let's fucking go.
Yo, let's go. When?
Let's go.
I don't remember. I need to double
You
check.
literally just got pinged about it.
I got pinged saying I got picked to play. I have to double check.
Like,
when
he
it is.
literally starts and then he's like, yeah, every time works.
I need to double check. I don't know. It's a Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah. Thing is, I've technically been on a winning team for a World of Warships tournament before.
Let's go.
When like Twitch, they do like a Twitch rivals style thing, I think. And I ended up on one of the teams somehow. The thing is, I never actually played. I was on the bench the entire time, but I still got the prize for winning.
Still, yeah, it's still you.
It
you
reminds
that.
me
We're doing
so
nothing,
much.
Luigi
That
moment.
reminds me so much of a Ludwig video, what you just said.
Luigi wins by doing absolutely nothing.
The Gallade. Me wins by doing absolutely nothing.
The best thing is though, they had like the super scripted final fight where I was watching it and I could tell, even though it wasn't in the voice I was watching, I was tell, damn, the scripting is so fucking obvious, and they still managed to fuck it up.
Damn.
Because the final fight they had like script where they had like two battles are being played by like the characters they've done for this whole thing, who. It's scripted where they're the last one standing. So the problem is, it's like a really big blowout match. So like one of the teams just has to spend the whole time deliberately missing as the freaking Yamato very slowly minces down their entire team until it's just the last two left, and then they ram to tie. Except they fuck it up, and only one of them ends up dying.
Damn. That's...
They just cut to the end screen before anyone notices, but we noticed. I noticed at least.
That's funny as
Oh,
fuck.
you saw. You
That's-
noticed.
That's funny. That's very funny. Alright, that's
Yeah.
done.
Anyway, next up we have Jimmy, a Guardian article that I think you might be interested in,
Alright, I'm listening.
where apparently there's a theory that the prototype for the Mark I may still exist somewhere.
The Mark 1?
What game are you playing, Jimmy?
That's still... Okay, it's a tank. Cool. But what's the Mark 1 again?
The tank Mark I. The
Oh.
Mark I British land ship. The first tank to be deployed in combat.
Oh. Okay, so one of the Roomba tanks.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, got it. Look, I'm sorry.
No,
You just said Mark 1. It's like there's a lot of tanks nowadays.
I mean, it's the British literally called the rhombus tanks the Mark I, the Mark II, the Mark III, the Mark IV, the Mark V, Mark VI, Mark VII, Mark VIII, and Mark IX.
And they're all useless.
Yeah. Lost for over a century, discovery of wartime letters has rekindled interest in unlocking the secrets of the world's first prototype tank. Apparently...
My
The
god, my
first tank,
ass is really
Mother,
good.
was the prototype for the world's first battlefield tank, the Mark I, which had been developed in 1959. The vehicles were a huge technological leap forward that caused a sensation when rolled out on battlefields. It's a unique, hugely important piece of military and technology history. But with people across Britain donating their railings, saucepans, and even keys for the war effort, there was no room for sentimentality, and it was sent to scrappers to be melted down and recycled. Or was it? For decades, rumors persisted at the Bovington camp that to save it from being scrapped, the mother of all tanks had instead been secretly buried somewhere on the military base. Now, an army officer is planning an archaeological survey to search for the mythical tank after finding a historical letter that suggests the rumors are true. Came across mystery. Yeah. So there's basically the rumors that it got buried somewhere to protect it, and they're gonna go try and find it.
That's cool.
Yeah, and this is obviously the Bovington Tank Museum, which is based at where this base used to be. Yeah, so there's the theory that the prototype for the Mark I might be buried somewhere on the grounds of the Bovington Tank Museum.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of legitimately funny. Doesn't mean look what tank I'm trying to restore.
Yeah, it's a kilometer squared area, so it's not exactly a small area. Hold on, I've tabbed back to your stream. Ah! The big boy, okay.
The big boy.
The big boy.
I love how this tank is called the Mouse. It's the biggest tank.
Yeah. Yes. So they've secured permission to survey the area, and he is currently crowdfunding to commission archaeologists to start the search later this autumn. LiDAR scans have already identified 5 spots that hint at large objects buried underground. Yeah. There's every possibility that it won't be found, but it would be a wonderful thing to find.
Yeah.
A wonderful mystery to be solved, given everyone around the world. Next up, we have news on Abrego Garcia. This is the man who the Trump administration deported to El Salvador, by their own admission, by mistake, that the Supreme Court ruled 9-0 he has to be returned. Yeah, so the administration finally, despite saying they couldn't do it, finally got around to returning him to the United States.
Uh-huh.
And then they shipped him immediately to Kentucky to face human trafficking charges.
Bro, like,
I'm
what
sorry.
the fuck?
Hold on.
Why do they have a problem with fucking Gasha?
Hold on.
What did he do?
Wait. Hold on.
What did this man do?
What? I'm sorry.
What did this?
Did you just say human trafficking?
They are charging him with human trafficking, yes.
Huh?
He didn't do shit.
Which I'd like to point out, like, the precipice for this is, like, apparently at some point there's a traffic stop where he was, like, driving a pickup truck full of, like, 8 other dudes to a construction site.
Which is definitely not human trafficking.
And the administration is like, yeah, this man needs in jail somewhere.
No,
They literally
like-
human trafficked him out of the country, and they're charging him with it.
Literally. What the hell,
I'd
bro?
like to point out, the judge in the case over all this, who had, like, gotten the Supreme Court the rule 9-0 he needs to be returned, I'd like to point out, they just begun contempt of court charges. The contempt of court proceedings, they just started. And now presumably they're gonna, like, pull the government. Alright, you've been saying you couldn't do this. Why the fuck have you just done this when you said you couldn't do this? Also, why the fuck is he not in my courtroom? Why is he in Kentucky? Anyway,
Like, I
Like,
swear
yeah,
to God,
actually,
the
why
things
the
the
fuck
judges
is he
go
in
through in
Kentucky?
America is insane.
I don't fucking know. Anyway, before we get into the big news, though, we have Luigi news.
Let's go.
Specifically, Mr. Mangione's lawyers have filed a request in his New York State trial, request that he not be required to appear in court shackled in a prison jumpsuit and a bulletproof vest. Because for some reason, he's required in state court proceedings to appear shackled in a prison jumpsuit in a bulletproof vest.
As if they think people would try to kill him.
Well, also that he's somehow dangerous, you know. Basically, like, they're saying, just let him appear in, like, court-approved attire like any other defendant. And, like, if you want, you can shackle his legs, fine, but like, don't shackle his hands. This is like, as per the U.S. Supreme Court, this is like well known, like established to be prejudicing the jury against him. Also, in the federal court proceedings, he doesn't have to do this, and you know, not to bring any point to this, but media cameras aren't allowed in federal courtrooms. Just saying.
So
But they are allowed in state courts. State courtrooms.
So what you're saying is they're trying to picture him as the bad guy.
Yes! As they've been doing literally since they arrested him.
That's the entire thing they've been doing.
Mama.
The amount of prosecutorial and police misconduct in his case is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And the stupidity too, because they've done so many mistakes.
Yes. They fucked it up so much as well. It's incredible.
It's like ridiculous.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's out.
He should get his cases dismissed.
At least.
For prosecutorial and police misconduct. Like, seriously.
Yeah. Which is like,
deported,
if you're trying to get this man in jail, why the fuck are you like messing up this badly? Like, my brother in Christ.
Like, the lawyer's like pointing out, like, the only thing he could have done since he's been being detained that is like at all like uncooperative is at one point he yelled at like some journalist, "Yo, your reporting on me is biased as shit. You're doing a horrible job."
Base.
Like, he's been like cooperative. He's been like nice. He's been sitting around cooperative. There's been like no incidents. And like, yeah, we need to bring him in to the courtroom under armed guard. We have to shackle his hands and his feet. It's like previously, like previous court appearance, like his lawyers were like, "Yo, can we like unshackle him?" And the judge's like, "Yeah, go ahead." And then like the prosecution's like, "Hold on, Your Honor." They go up, talk something off the record, and then the judge is like, "For security reasons, I guess we need to leave him shackled." Like, what fucking security reasons?
He's been in custody the entire time. Are you telling me you're incompetent enough to let him get something in there?
Are you telling me the multiple armed security guards in this in the courtroom are not enough to subdue a skinny 20-something man with metal plates in his spine? Like,
honestly,
come
that
on.
just sounds like escalation to me.
Yeah, this is like it's literally just being done to prejudice the jury.
Yep.
Which is illegal.
They act like he's state enemy number one, bro.
Of course, of course it is because they
He's accused of shooting a billionaire. Therefore,
he must. Of course, he is the state number one.
Anyway, next up, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So yeah, if you're not aware, ICE, U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, has been LARPing the fucking Gestapo recently.
I'm sorry, the what?
They have been LARPing the Gestapo.
What is LARPing?
With their bullshit, which includes like the freaking Newark mayor shit that we've mentioned before. But this week they really got on some bullshit. They raided a popular San Diego restaurant in full tactical gear with rifles and flashbangs to detain the entire staff before then getting into a confrontation with the locals upset at them doing this. They then raided a New York Democratic congressman's office and detained his staffer, quote, for his own safety. You know, as you do. They accidentally detained a U.S. Marshal in Arizona because ICE in their has been one of their tactics has been they've been raiding courthouses for people undergoing immigration proceedings. You know, the people who are actually like showing up to their court dates, you know, properly. Yeah, they've been like showing up to these courthouses and stuff. Like, this is one of the judges who's currently like being prosecuted for being like, "Yo, ICE, you're not allowed in my fucking courtroom."
That's so ridiculous.
It
Yeah.
is.
It was like the person who like had like the person ICE is trying to get had them like go through a different door into the same hallway, and they've been charged like trying to help someone escape police custody. Anyway, but the big one from this week, really, other than you know they fucking detained a U.S. Marshal because he matched the description. Just casually arrest a U.S. Marshal, as you do. ICE has deployed en masse to Los Angeles and the greater Los Angeles area, detaining people across the area, like literally across the greater LA area, and was bringing them all to like a detention facility they commandeered. And in response, there was a mid-sized protest that broke out. Like this wasn't really a big protest in terms of U.S. protests. Like the biggest thing the news was like, oh yeah, there's like a bunch of pictures, like all these pictures, like oh yeah, there's like a dozen, maybe 24 people milling about in like the middle of a street where they've like pushed a dumpster into the street. The biggest thing was like one car got set on fire and a Home Depot shopping cart got set on fire.
Not.
That's like there was like, and then like right outside the detention facility there was like 24 people chanting angrily. Like one person like threw a firecracker. They moved some dumpsters around. It's like a medium-sized protest, basically. Anyway, Trump's chief of staff called it an insurrection on Twitter. As you do. And in other news, Trump's deployed 2,000 National Guardsmen.
Isn't that like totally
Against
illegal?
that.
Sort of, Jimmy. So
Against that.
yes, against this, in order to protect ICE, who, as a reminder, is conducting raids on like pizza places in full tactical gear with rifles and grenade launchers loaded with tear gas, which is, remind you, a chemical weapon by legal definition.
Yeah, deploying the National Guardsmen over this is fucking scary as fuck, but yeah, it's scary as fuck.
And he's doing this without consulting the California government. Now, technically, the president does not need the permission of the national government to deploy the National Guard. He is allowed to do that, technically. Though by precedent, you only do it if the governor asks you to, and it's like extreme measure. However, the law he invoked in order to do this is the wrong one, meaning he is technically deploying them illegally. Because the specific law he invoked requires like one of three things to be happening, none of which are happening, and requires the actual orders to be given via the governor, and he's going over the governor's head. Now, to be clear, the governor of California is basically on his villain arc right now, but still is on the right side of this. He put out a statement basically saying, the National Guard is being deployed, quote, not because there is a shortage of law enforcement, but because the Trump administration wants a spectacle.
Imagine being called out like that.
Yeah. Keep in mind, this is the guy who's like being a big asshole and being like, yo, we need to go back to criminalizing homelessness because we want to host the Olympics, Lamau. So yeah, he's on big cringe hours, but still, on this, he's on the right side of this. As a reminder, Los Angeles has one of the largest police departments in the world.
Yeah, I've heard.
Of course.
But it makes sense.
Let me just... LA Police Department size. Los Angeles Police Department has nearly 9,000 sworn officers. Alright? Now, due to... under LA law, they are not allowed to directly work with ICE on their, like, immigration stuff, because that's federal government's job. However, they have been brought in to do crowd control. where they, break out, huge quantities of pepper spray and tear gas and rubber bullets and shit like that. Also, there was a video of a Black Hawk helicopter landed at a ice facility, just unloading just drums upon drums of chemical agents for use in crowd dispersal. Like, by the pallet load. Like, what the fuck? It's just obscene the amount of, like, shit they're breaking out for this, like, nothing burger because they want to LARP the Gestapo so fucking hard. Also, the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, Mr. Signalgate himself, yeah, he's threatened to deploy the Marines.
Digga. I can't anymore. I can't understand
Dios
anything anymore.
1, 2, 3. Let's start a country. I mean, it can't be that hard. We'd probably do a better job than these motherfuckers.
Yeah, literally. It's not hard to do that.
They are basically, they haven't officially declared an insurrection, but they're basically one step away from doing so and basically declaring war on the population of Los Angeles.
Would that make it a civil war?
Yes.
This government should be obliterated.
And it would literally be one that the government's causing on its own for no reason.
After some fucking protests.
After some protests that weren't even that big. Like, as a reminder as well, Trump went out of his way not to deploy the National Guard during the January 6th insurrection, which was an actual insurrection when they stormed the fucking Capitol building.
Yeah, of course.
But this is basically
of course he wouldn't
nothing.
deploy
Like,
those.
bro, why would he deploy their fucking National Guards when it comes to such a small thing?
Yeah, it's like all the LA news media is being like, I've never seen something like this. Like the level of response is so disproportional. It's ridiculous.
Wait, damn, there's a protest. Let's send out the fucking army. Oh, okay.
It's like there wasn't this level of reaction to all the massive BLM protests and the George Floyd protest. It's like this is the kind of response when there was the LA race riots. In I don't remember when were the LA race riots?
Yes, I remember that one. It was I think it was the Rodney King riots.
It's like this is the kind of shit you'd expect when the entire city is rioting, not when
when the entire city is outraged that 6 officers beat a man to death and then got off scot-free.
Meanwhile,
which is exactly what happened in the 90s.
Yeah, meanwhile, this maybe 400 people are protesting the fucking Gestapo kidnapping people. And they're deploying the National Guard over this. It's like these are such nothing burger LA protests. And they're deploying 2,000 National Guardsmen. Which I'd like to point out, if LA actually decided it wanted to be up in arms, would not 2,000 guardsmen would not be enough. LA is fucking huge.
And you got the LA sister cities as well, who absolutely step
rebellion.
Yeah, because
family is a that meme
family.
About
family.
Yeah, that shit's real. That is real. We will throw hands. You fuck with our own.
As it should be.
Yeah.
And you're fully in your right.
Agreed.
I remember seeing, I can't find it, but there was a picture of ice sightings in the greater LA area, and it was truly the whole greater LA area. It was all the way up past where
I'm gonna order some Denny's, so I'm gonna pop out because my mama is hungry.
Okay, fair enough.
Holy shit, Denny's? Easy.
That's the only other thing after this.
Denny's.
Spectrum. So.
Okay.
The money.
They're basically one step short of fucking declaring martial law in LA for fucking. It's I like to remind you, there are the videos of the Ice Age showing up, where it's oh yeah, there's 20 people hanging off a military vehicle in full body armor, masks, carrying rifles, and oh yeah, what are you doing? We're raiding a Home Depot for construction workers. We're raiding a pizza place for low-wage workers, Lamau.
I shall say one thing. There are like sometimes very fucking dangerous protests in Germany, but like literally we shall send out the.
Yeah.
Like I don't crash out over it.
Like I'm pretty
And
sure
this-
under German like constitutional law, they're not allowed to deploy the military in civilian areas,
They are not.
which was apparently like a problem at one point when there was like terrorists or something. Which right now is like the police unit that's like in Rainbow Six Siege or whatever.
Yeah. We have more terrorists around.
Anyway,
People that
moving
drive
on,
into
let's talk about-
fucking
let's-
Christmas markets.
talk about something upbeat though. Let's talk about the Russia-Ukraine war, and specifically the details that have come out on Operation Spiderweb, which I'd like to point out.
Okay.
I have had to split my notes on Operation Spiderweb into 2 different Discord messages for the amount of hilarity that's come out.
But
of this.
wait, I just love how you said, let's go to the upbeat topic. The Russian-Ukraine war.
Yes, because Operation Spiderweb is fucking hilarious.
Operation Spiderweb is historical, bro.
So,
As
We
I,
have
as I
details
called
on
it,
how
as I called it when I first heard it, Operation I want pictures of Spider-Man.
yes. So, how this happened is okay. Ukraine spent 18 months planning this operation. And supposedly Zelensky was directly involved in it. And they exploited the weaknesses of the Russian defense system, which is basically Russia's expecting large, long-range drones to attack at night. So Ukraine attacked with small quadcopters in broad daylight.
Okay.
These small quadcopters were hidden in compartments affixed to the roof of shipping containers, which Ukraine then... So Ukraine smuggled these drones in, concealed them on top of shipping containers, and then put these containers in just like normal Russian logistics yards. And then hired Russian truck drivers to drive Russian trucks to deliver these containers near their targets. Like, yeah, Ivan, I need you. We're gonna pay you to drive this container. This is gonna be like a construction site for like an Aldi's or something. Don't worry about it. We're gonna have someone pick it up, just drop it off there, and we'll wire you the money. Don't worry about it. Because I like to point out the part of this that's impressive is when the operation actually commenced, when the drones took off, all of the Ukrainian operatives had left Russia. They'd already left Russia.
That's just insane.
They were all back in Ukraine for this.
It's insane to time that, huh?
And like the hatches opened up all on their own, and the drones took off and flew to their targets, and then the containers which had carried the drones self-destructed.
And poof.
Boom.
Yeah, they blew themselves up. The drones carefully targeted the aircraft being prepared for the night's operations, and thus these aircraft were loaded with fuel, and in at least one confirmed case, loaded with ammunition. The drones
You know what means.
targeted the fuel tanks. So despite the fact that they're small quadcopters, they can't carry very much explosives. But aviation fuel burns really fucking hot. Like, there are like pictures of like what's left of some of these aircraft. They're a scorch mark on the ground.
They literally were cooked.
Like, these are giant, like huge, nearly 200 foot wingspan bombers that are just gone. Some of them. There's nothing left.
Gone, reduced to atoms.
Like,
Yeah,
they are reduced to a slag that has melted its way into the concrete. Okay.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. At least one of these bombers that was badly hit was photographed literally right next to a modern air defense system, Lamau. Yeah. The
Good defense.
attack, depending on your estimate, is estimated to have destroyed between 2.2 and 7 billion US dollars worth of aircraft, comprising up to 34% of Russia's strategic cruise missile carriers, many of which are irreplaceable due to being out of production for several decades.
I just love how good this is.
I'd like to point out, in contrast, Russia's biggest aerial victory of that week was they hit the Kharkiv trolley bus depot with 8 Shahed drones.
It's not a big deal, it's a skill issue.
Yeah. Their biggest claim to fame, their biggest win, was they hit the trolley bus depot 8 times.
They already have a problem with depots.
Ukraine spent in total maybe $3 million to more than decimate the Russian strategic bomber fleet. Like, as a reminder, decimation is 10%.
Damn.
And like, the few like aircraft where it's like Russia could theoretically replace them are some of the most expensive vehicles in the Russian fleet because they're fucking variable geometry aircraft, and those are expensive as shit and maintenance nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I will note though that there was at least one video that surfaced of like some like genuinely heroic Russian citizens climbing on top of the trucks that were launching the drones to try and stop the drone launches by like whacking the drones with sticks, stones, in their bare hands. Reminder: these are drones loaded with high explosives.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea, Chief.
Like the video I showed them being like at least a little bit successful. It was like more just like generally credit to these people. That is like genuinely
impressive,
genuinely heroic activities from them. I have to give credit where it's due on this, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the people are not the problem.
Yeah. Anyway, Russian mill bloggers have taken to calling this the Russian Pearl Harbor.
Actually, it is.
No, it's not.
I mean, like, it reminds me a bit of it, but it's like, no, because Pearl Harbor started the war.
No. I mean, the Russians actually had a real Pearl Harbor in 1904.
Oh.
Where the Russo-Japanese War started.
You meant that one, yeah.
Launching a surprise attack on the Russian naval base at Port Arthur before the declaration of war arrived in Moscow.
I always forget about that one. They actually had it.
This was literally their Pearl Harbor. They had one already.
They but they have a second one. That's cheating.
No, you can. No, you can.
That's cheating.
Well, Russia's built different, so.
One of the air bases Ukraine hit is near the border with China. This is the equivalent of conducting a strike on New York from Los Angeles. That is the distance. Alright? That is the distance of one of these strikes.
Spiderweb.
I'd like to point out some of these aircraft that were struck were specifically carried out today because Ukraine had intelligence Russia was preparing to launch, quote, Operation Zeus's Lightning, which is planned to be the largest cruise missile strike of the war in an attempt to make Ukraine yield at the Istanbul peace talks. That's why the bombers were out there fully loaded with fuel and ammunition.
And then Ukraine was like, and then no, you know what Ukraine did? You have to activate my trap card.
Trump said we have no cards. However, we have activated a trap card. Lays down 5 of a kind. He laid down 4 kings and the King of Beers coaster, which was somehow shoveled into the deck, but it still counts. I think that's how that scene in Futurama went. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't watch Futurama.
I don't watch Futurama either.
Arguably the biggest prize, though, of Operation Spiderweb was 2 A-50 AWACS aircraft. These are airborne warning and control system aircraft, which is they're the big radar planes with the big spinny dish on top.
The big spinny dish.
Yeah, these are one of those planes like people who don't know too much, are like kind of like whatever on, but these are like super big deals. Also, like, depending on your sources, this could mean, theoretically, Russia only has 1 left to cover all of Russia.
Damn.
Only one.
Only one that works.
GG.
Though, this is probably not the case. It's because at least one of the aircraft that got hit was absolutely a spare parts husk.
Ah, man.
Like, it didn't have engines. And, like, both of them, they got hit, have a suspiciously large quantity of rust brown staining on them.
Of what?
That said, still, it means they've been basically sat out and not touched for years. At least not maintained.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But yeah. The other thing that's just peak trolling, though, is apparently one of the major Ukrainian bases, safe houses for this operation, was located all but directly next door to a regional Russian FSB headquarters. They literally were planning this operation, and they had a safe house, like, basically on the same street as the local CIA headquarters. Basically.
Right in front of your nose.
Yeah. It's from, I'm not sure exactly how close it was, but it's entirely possible it was literally the next building.
Yeah, it could be. Concerning it's the Russians, yeah.
Yeah, in completely unrelated news, the head of the Russian Air Force has reportedly been defenestrated.
Who would have thought?
However, as big as all of this is, you know what's arguably the biggest win?
Okay. I'm listening.
Every single shipping container and box truck in Russia is now a potential military threat to the Russians.
Yeah.
Which
nothing
means
is safe anymore.
Russia now needs to somehow search every box truck and shipping container
that's the
in
biggest thing.
Russia.
That paranoia now is going to be the biggest win. They
means,
got in their heads now.
Yeah, Russia's going to need to divert huge quantities of both air defense assets all to every airbase in Russia, including the ones they thought were out of range, as well as assets to search and secure their logistics network, which will further hamper the already crumbling Russian civilian and military logistics network, which will cause even further damage to the Russian economy. And all of that will need to be self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Or risk further Ukraine spiderwebs.
Bam.
Yeah, like multiple spiderwebs. Oh god.
Yeah. And the thing is, this is why Ukraine has released so much information on how they did it. Because they want Russia to know.
Yeah.
Because it means Russia has to respond and waste so much time, money, and manpower on all of this. Which means, as bad as Ukraine's strike is devastating the Russian cruise missile fleet, the real damage is to the Russian logistics network.
Which
and that is the real next up, we have the other things that happened this week in Ukraine. Ukraine hosted the Black Sea Security Conference in the Odessa Opera House, where you had a bunch of people from the Black Sea talking about, like, Romania and Bulgaria and so on. Black Sea security in beautiful Opera House in Odessa. Notable U.S. officials were there as well to speak in support of Ukraine. The Ukrainian legislator who was hosting the event, while the U.S. diplomat was on stage, said, direct to camera, if Ukraine is independent and in control of this building when the war ends, he will personally invite Donald Trump to watch the opera from the Tsar's opera box. Because this is an old building that was built during the Tsar Imperial Russian time, so it has a personal opera box for the Tsar.
Yeah.
Which is, he points out, is somewhere Putin personally wants to be. And he says, if Ukraine's still about, because America will have been supporting Ukraine, I will personally invite you to watch the opera from the Emperor's box.
Which is a smart thing, very smart
Ego
thing to
Man
say.
himself. Yeah, he's going directly to Trump's ego.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a smart thing. And considering that Trump and Putin are not good at it.
Yeah. In other news, Ukraine directly accused China of directly supplying Russian war industries, which is the first time they've directly accused China of involvement. The NATO Secretary General has invited Zelensky to the next NATO summit over American objections, because Trump doesn't want him there. But you know what? He's going anyway because NATO invited him. In other news, also part of Operation Spiderweb, the Ukrainians directly drove the drones from Ukraine because they all had Russian SIM cards. They were being controlled via the Russian cell network.
Mm-hmm.
Ukraine's apparently been training the drones on data gathered from the Russian Air Museum about all these aircraft. So they have AI to basically AI target these drones onto their targets, onto the planes.
Uh-huh.
Ace Combat 7.
Modern Warfare.
The final thing is Ukraine blew up the Kerch Bridge again.
Let's go.
Which I'd like to point out, we have fucking now.
Hey guys, see this, watch this!
Yeah, watch this. So Ukraine blew up a 1,100 kilogram bomb on the support pillars of the Kerch Bridge below the waterline. Specifically, they hit one of the supports for the road bridge directly under the archway used for ship passage, which is, big deal. The bridge didn't collapse. The bridge did hold. But, Ukraine can just do this again.
Just fucking do it again.
Yeah. But it has severely hampered, because it did severely damage the bridge. But Russia's like, oh yeah, it's fine. So they just started driving trucks over it. So, we'll see how that works. I'd also like to point out that one of the other things we have from this is the fact Ukraine is a fucking professional. Professionals have standards. So, yeah.
TF2 moment.
Our professionals have standards. Before this detonation happened, Ukraine launched a minor drone raid using aerial drones, which they knew Russia would be able to stop these drones. However, this means Russia had to close the bridge, meaning Ukraine made sure there wasn't anyone on the bridge in case it collapsed.
That's based.
Yeah,
these are the people Russia called terrorists for striking the bombers, by the way.
It's also the people that some say started the war, by the way.
These are the people that Russia is calling terrorists.
Yeah.
For blowing up the bombers that Russia uses to blow up city blocks and schools and churches and so on and so forth. Like, seriously, Russia was decrying this attack on their military bases as an act of terrorism.
Like, bro, can you think?
Russia needs a fucking victim complex.
They have so many complexes, I stopped counting, bro. But yeah, it's just generally so impressive, the entire operation.
Yep. It is impressive.
Yeah, it's actual modern warfare.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the fucking Russians.
By the looks of it, by the way, that tournament I'm in is going to be the 14th and the 15th. But with that, that gets us to the end of the idea box.
Darius.
What?
Let's change topics from real life stuff to video games. So for those who are in the knowing, there's a couple big things, a couple big updates that happened to a couple of games. So I'll start with the first one. I'll start with a gacha game. Hold on, no need to puke on the floor. It's a good game, okay? Zenless Zone Zero got its first anniversary, and 2.0 released. So we got a lot of things coming out for ZZZ, an entire new map. They revamped the UI entirely. Now we have a mini map, so that's kind of cool. We have new characters on the polls as per usual in a gacha game.
Trump's banning masks in LA in order to clamp down on protesters. I don't know.
I'm sorry, what did you say about masks?
They're banning masks in LA, saying the protesters are not allowed to wear masks.
Oh, great, so they can be sanitary in case someone's sick. Cool.
Well, also, it means they can't hide their identities to make it harder for the Gestapo to go after them.
And what's the matter if they wear masks? They just get detained?
Probably. The Pope criticizes nationalist policies.
Impressive.
And we continue.
But yeah, ZZZ got its 2.0 update. We got the Wi-Fi Peninsula. I definitely totally didn't spend nearly 15 hours on Saturday going through its story. And another like 6 or 7 going through other content. But yeah, pretty good shit. And guys, who's that dog developer that I keep hearing about? You know, the funny dog. Who's that annoying? No one's taking the hint, is it? Guys?
I don't know.
What are you saying? I don't understand.
The annoying dog. Who is the annoying dog developer? Funny little dog. Who is it? Come on!
You mean Toby Fox?
What released this week? Trying to see if anyone else has any idea of what I'm talking about.
Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4.
Thank you.
Release Chapter 3, Deltarune.
Deltarune finally released. Chapters 3 and 4 are out. We are out of the fucking... we are free. We can finally... New chapters out. It's been a millennia, but we have new chapters. Let's go.
Cool.
Damn. Was expecting a little more. But yeah,
I didn't follow that one.
Surprised you didn't. But yeah, we got Deltarune Chapter 3 and Chapter 4. Chapter 3 takes place in Late TB World. How do I know that? Because I watched Amy play through it. So that was kind of cool. Chapter was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was the one thing I've seen from a Deltarune stream.
Which, by the way, I just want to say this. A patch released not long ago for Deltarune, and they removed the thing from the weird route of Chapter 4 because people were speculating that Chris they did non-consensual things to Noelle.
Oh,
And people were freaking out. So it was just like, well, no fun for you. None of that. No,
Yeah.
no. Alright. What am I missing? Hold
These
on,
days you have
before
to
I finish
explain
stream, I
everything.
want to make sure I'm not missing anything within the tank because I'm 99% painted. Which means that I'm definitely missing something to paint. Nothing on the tracks, nothing on the gearbox, nothing on the fuel system, something on the engine. Jesus Christ! Nothing on the engine. It's gonna be on the wheels, isn't it? Alright, let's check turret exterior. Non-turret exterior, hull exterior, nothing on the hull exterior, it's on the wheels. What am I missing to paint on the wheels? I'm missing a roller wheel to... Okay, I'm missing the annoying roller wheel to... sandblast. Just like around here, I'm pretty sure.
Where is it? Where is it?
Silence.
If it's going to be total silence, then I guess I'm going to fill it.
Oh yeah, sorry.
There also was like Resident Evil.
I was expecting. I was fully.
Why are you
expecting-
talking into my sentence? Why are you not talking?
I'm sorry. I was fully expecting people to.
Like
start
it's
doing
happening
recommendations.
every fucking time. But yeah, Resident Evil 9 was, which seems to go back to Raccoon City, and Raccoon City, by the way, was nuked in one of the games.
Yeah,
It's
was it
going
nuked
to
in
have
3?
that type of setting. Yeah, it was nuked in 3. And now they are going back. Like the main character is a girl, which works for the FBI, and she heads to this place back now, where actually her mother went missing. Now the thing is, at first I was surprised because I was like, which character is she? I never have seen her.
No,
Apparently the mother is from like... But hey, at least she had law. But yeah, it looks sick. Like, literally seeing the police department building completely destroyed and just the ash-covered things, it's going to be amazing.
You don't know how they're going to pull off a nuked city with zombies. Like, how the hell are they supposed to survive that shit?
I do believe they are also going to focus more on the psychological horror aspect, from what I've seen. So I could expect that they are going to go with a partial Silent Hill. Which makes sense considering it all. Like, recently Silent Hill 2 remake and such brought back psychological. Also, because this was all announced on Summer, which is one of the biggest announcements, events that happens in summer.
Makes sense.
There was also, from the same studio that made Yakuza, a cool game announced, which is called Stranger Than Heaven, which plays... don't get me wrong, wait. I have to double check, but if I remember correctly, it's playing in a different version of Japan in roughly 90-something... Wait. Stranger... I don't know. Which... Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be in 1915 and 1943. And everyone will knows what time things happened in times. Yeah, you can tell it's going to be...
Yeah, it's gonna
considering it's a Yakuza basically. But yeah, it looks darker, which makes sense for the setting than any previous games. I just find it also funny that they announced the game. Fucking game. And I believe, this is my leading theory, they just went so overboard with the pirate game that they were just like, we have to actually make a very serious game now. But yeah, those were the, in my opinion, the two most important announcements that were made.
Okay.
Except anyone else has something to say.
No, that I can think of. Also, I've been playing. Well, not playing. I've been watching a lot of Balatro lately. A certain
Balatro, the funny card
a
game.
certain Carbuncle Espeon, girly pop, show me that it's really funny to watch the cards go.
Yeah, it's a really cool game.
Jesus
It's fun to see
Christ.
numbers go up, of course.
Okay, this isn't the M20 armor utility card anymore. Where's the mouse? I have mouse. What do you guys think of mouse?
We have mouse.
Yeah, it's a really, really, really stupidly large tank. It was
I
gigantic.
didn't. Wait,
There it is.
was my breathing detected by my mic the entire time?
I didn't hear any.
I hope so not. Yeah, thank God, okay.
If I say the Tiger 2.
The mouse of the mouses.
Yeah, the Panzer 8 mouse.
Might as well be an iron mouse.
Haha, very funny.
Yeah, no, I'm an expert at comedy.
Expert comedian over here.
Always like, oh, this swear to God, I'm starting to go insane.
But yeah, that's another tank to the collection. The museum itself is laggy as hell for some reason, but I'll fucking take it. It's fun to build. Alright. So do we have anything else? Meep, do you have anything? Is Meep muted or just... Okay, he's just muted. I'm going to assume that he doesn't.
Oh yeah, sorry. No, I'm here.
Okay.
That's one right there. Thank you, News App. Trump officials are vowing to end school desegregation orders.
For crying out
Oh
loud.
my God.
Alright, well, with that bombshell, we're gonna end stream. I have a gym challenge. I have received a gym challenge on a server I'm in, so I'm probably gonna focus on that. So let's see who to Twitch, who to rate. Pretty sure Amy isn't streaming anymore. So let's just see who I can rate. If anyone has an idea for a raid, tell me. If not, I might just choose randomly.
Yeah, choose randomly.
Alright.
Just choose randomly.
Alright. Let's go raid Mistali. They have a Spinda profile picture, so that's funny. Seeing all that's been going around with Spinda in this server. Raid Mistali. Alright, so we're gonna rate them. Tomorrow, only Monday stream. I'll do all weeklies then, aka the Crew 2 and ZZZ. Because on Tuesday, I'm leaving town. I'm not coming back until next Tuesday. So yeah, I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for all the fish.
Alright, and the raid